Hey, welcome into the locker room, connected by Iris Networks. Mark Packer, along with Don Ho and Jason Swain, as Austin just got back from Hawaii. How was your trip?
To quote the great Randy Quaid from Independence Day, "Hello, boys, I'm back."
And what a time to come back. Tennessee with a dominating win over Texas. Jason, the final score didn't even indicate what kind of blowout it was.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee was dominant there in the second half, went on the run. A couple threes, and Texas was unable to answer. Tennessee's defense really locked down, clamped down, and the pick and roll was working really well between Zakai Ziegler and Olivier, and went on a run. And then before you know it, it was plus 20-point lead. But that's how dangerous this team can really be, and that's why I think a lot of people feel like this team is a Final Four quality type of basketball team.
Defense clamped them down for that long stretch in the first half. The offense was able to extend. They had the 12-point lead going to the break. And then, from there they stretched it out to 20. I mean, Texas, they made some outside shots in the second half, made a little bit of a run, but you never felt like that they were really in the game. Like anytime they kind of got around 10 or 11, Tennessee would stretch it back out. And they did it a lot of it with Olivier and obviously Zakai, but there was a nice sprinkling in with Vescovy and just some nice plays. And I thought defensively, when they needed a stop, they found a way to get a stop. Even if Texas was making a few shots in the second half, if Tennessee really needed it, they got it.
By the way, Olivier is in studio tonight, and it's kind of interesting. Uros was in just a couple of weeks ago, and I think when you talk about those two guys right there, you talk about the guys that the player development you really see much more so than just about anybody else. Guys that have been in the program for just a little bit, Jason, but guys that have really made strides. That performance by Olivier on Saturday was as good as we've seen in a while.
No, absolutely, and Coach Barnes, when Olivier was a young pup, felt like he could be this type of player.
Yeah. And
we saw some flashes of it early in the season. The Kentucky game was tough on everybody, but, man, Olivier really responded when all eyes were on Tennessee in this Texas matchup, had his best game of his career. And one thing that really stood out about his performance is Rick Barnes said it started in practice. He knew that Olivier was going to have a good game because he had his best day of practice the day before. So it's really good to see his game get to this point, 27 points, career high, and look forward to seeing what he can do next. I want to see 28.
Well, 27 is not good enough. What I thought was great is when you got Dickie V there and he's yelling his name. It's a coming out party, baby. I mean, we've been waiting on that kind of game, and with Dickie V there, it was a cool night.
Well, it was, and when you look at this team, I think there are two players that are the key for down the stretch. Not because he's just sitting there to our right, but Olivier's one. He's on the inside because of what he can give you offensively. You're just not going to get that production offensively from Uros and from Jonas consistently. Olivier can consistently get you 15 to 20 points every night, and so. To me, he's the key. And then outside, it's not Ziegler, because I think while he runs the show, I think it's continuing to get Vescovy open looks and continuing to have him see the ball go through the hole. Josiah continues to play well as he comes back from injury. But you talk about development. Josiah's shot when he first got here and Josiah's shot now are worlds apart as far as technical, how technically sound he is. So. The development of the staff and what Coach Barnes has done from when he first got here with a guy like Kevin Punter to the guys on this current team really stands out the most.
I thought Vescovy was the most important perimeter player until about 2 or 3 games ago. That's now Zakai Ziegler. The reason why is because the game is slowing down him so much, and his ability to find his teammates and give the ball to them in spots where they can make a play. Like yesterday was a prime example. Like Olivier, all he had to do was just turn and score the basketball or catch it and dunk it. His ability to shoot the basketball, deliver the basketball, and then defensively, he's ahead of the snake. I mean, he's putting ball pressure on the opposing point guards. They can't get into their offense close to the basket. They're 30 feet outside, setting up their offense, and it's because of Zakai Ziegler. So I think Zakai and Olivier, those two guys are on. Tennessee's hard to beat.
What's interesting is we've talked about a number of names here and a number of guys, and you talk about the depth. However, when you look at the Texas game, you only really went about 5.5 deep. I mean, Key played 17 minutes in the game. Other than that, the 5 guys, Phillips, Nkamhoua, Ziegler, Vescovy, and Josiah Jordan-James, those were the 5 that were out there the whole time. I mean, Urosh goes all the way down to 6 minutes in that game.
I think
situational basketball.
Situational basketball. You know, with what Texas had, you know, again, he's been playing 9 or 10 guys most of the year, but I think for this game, with how they were playing and who they were playing, I think that's why you saw the minutes distributed as such.
Good teams know how to win different ways, and Tennessee was able to win with their starters doing most of the work. I mean, like 90-something% of the scoring yesterday. And there's other games where you get more production from your bench, and that's why this Tennessee team is dangerous, because they can beat you in a number of different ways.
So I want to bring him in now just because of the fact that I like to focus on kind of the inside of the program. And I guess exactly where I'm going to go first is essentially, how do you know, what's the feel when you get in a game? We talk about situational basketball of who's going to get the bulk of the minutes and who's not. Going into the Texas game, did you kind of have an idea a lot of it was going to fall on your shoulders?
No, I think the good part about our team is, like you guys have been saying here, is that we got a lot of names, a lot of guys that can step up and, you know, play their role, step up and play a role that they might not even been in yet. I think the really good thing about our team is the fact that we all can play. We got guys coming off the bench that can hoop. We got guys on the starting lineup that any one of us could go for, you know, like you said, 20, 15, it doesn't matter. We've had games where only one guy scores double-digit points, but everybody has 5 or 6 or 7, and suddenly we make it to 80 and we're winning, and it's clean. So I don't think it's that simple for us. I just think some nights somebody's on and some nights somebody's not, and you know you got to go with who's hot. It's basketball. Obviously, you got to trust the guys that are on that night. And the good thing about our team is we got a lot of guys that can take that role.
Olivier, one more, and we'll go to break and let Jason slide in for the players' perspective. But for you, the first 2 games after the new year, you don't miss a shot. Then you kind of have a couple of games that were non-Olivier-like. When you get into one of those kind of funks a little bit, do you have to remind yourself to stay patient and understand, hey, we're going to play our way out of this, or is it hard to not press?
Well, yeah, the year starting off the way it did was kind of crazy. I didn't really even notice until after the game, the second game, and people started talking about it, but it wasn't like a knowledgeable thing for me until later. Then, yeah, I had a couple rough games. But like I said, the good thing about us is we got people that can step up for me, so that helped me just be able to focus on getting back right and not worry about whether or not I'm the guy scoring, because somebody's going to score. So I just started focusing on other things, and those kind of brought me back into the team and brought me back feeling good, feeling better. And like I said, that's really the beautiful part about our team. We got guys that can step up when somebody might not be having the night that they need to be having.
All right, we'll sit tight over there. We'll take a break. We'll send Jason over there for the Food City player perspective when we come back on the Locker Room, connected by Iris Networks.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Iris Networks, Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, and Exterior Home Solutions.
When it comes to the game of football, teamwork is critical for success. When it comes to customer service and business, that team approach is just as critical. That's why we're such believers in our friends at Exterior Home Solutions. We have seen firsthand how Exterior Home Solutions has supported our community and treats their customers just like family. So when it comes to roofing, siding, or maybe a complete overhaul, please make Exterior Home Solutions your first and only call.
Land that corporate dream job. Recalculating. Getting the representation and compensation you deserve? You have arrived. OEB Law is there for all of life's detours.
Reporting from Ted Russell Ford, Nick and Jake with some breaking news. That's right, Nick. The pre-owned patrol's on a new mission, and by new, we mean new Fords. The forecast says we have new Ford F-150s, Escapes, Explorers, Mustangs, and more arriving on our lot daily. The best part is every new Ford comes with our non-factory limited lifetime warranty. You heard it here first. Stop by one of our 2 convenient locations for the best selection on your new Ford. The new Ford of your dreams awaits you at Ted Russell Ford on Kingston Pike or Parkside Drive.
I chose LMU because I wanted doors to open for me. For my future to have endless possibilities. To know I could become anything I wanted to be. Objection, Your Honor. I always wanted to say that. So whether I wanted to be a veterinarian, a high school teacher, let's turn to page 32, or or a successful dentist. I knew LMU would help me get there. All I had to do was open the door.
Do you want top-of-the-line fitness equipment for home, school, or work? New or reconditioned, Dynabody in Maryville has everything you need to build that gym. Used equipment brands include Paramount, Life Fitness, Nautilus, Hammer Strength, and Precor. Reach for the power with Dynabody.
You know, as we talked about before we went to break, I love the player development of our guest in studio tonight. Kind of came in raw. He's been here 4 years now. Can you believe that? 3.5 years. And what a performance against Texas. 27 points on Saturday.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he's, one of a few that were born abroad and have come to the States and have flourished under Coach Rick Barnes. The pride of Helsinki, Finland, Olivier Nkamhoua, is with Jason Swain.
Olivier, the crowd was rocking. A lot of eyeballs were on. Tennessee College Game Day was here. What was that like, having all the lights on Tennessee and going out and having your best game as a Tennessee Volunteer?
Man, it was great. Whenever our fans show up, it's really dope. Our fans do a great job of bringing in energy, and for us players, man, you got to really appreciate it, especially in an arena like TBA. You really just bounce off the energy they bring in, and for me, yeah, it was big. It was College Game Day and everything. I tried my best not to get caught up in that. For me, it was a little bit more a revenge game for how last year went down when we went over there. I was maybe more caught up in that, honestly, than all the other stuff. I was just trying to play those guys specifically. But, man, I had so much fun. It was incredible. Those guys played really hard, and it made it even more fun to have just like a top 10 matchup like that. It's not often that you get to be a part of games like that.
Rick Barnes will probably downplay it, your coach, about how important this game was, the fact that he came from Texas. You mentioned the fact you lost that game last year. In the locker room amongst your teammates, did you guys talk about getting revenge and doing it for Coach Barnes?
Yeah, we for us older guys, it was something that we all felt, and it was more of one of those things that didn't really need to be said. But we try to do a good job of not getting overhyped for games. Like, we honestly had more conversations of, let's not look at this game as it's too important, because every single game that we play, needs to be as important, and we can't get overhyped because we're the kind of team where we already play with emotion. So when then we add more emotion on top of that, sometimes we could come out a little too ramped up, I guess. That's the best way I can say it. But yeah, we talked about a lot of things, and we all knew we were very excited for the game, not just because of the College Game Day, because we lost last year, and as a competitor, those are the type of days you have that mark since before the season even started. You have that mark since last year. So it was a big time game. We were all ready to go out there and play against those guys, man.
How surprised were you that Coach Barnes didn't mention any negative things you did, during the game? You had a career high. He said you were awesome. He also mentioned the fact that you had one of your best, practices as a Tennessee Volunteer. Did you feel that you were going to come out and have a big day on Saturday based on practice leading up to the game?
Well, big night, it depends on how you look at it. Like, I feel like I was ready to play. I feel like I was ready to come out there and, play hard. And in my head, I'm like, we're going to win. I knew we were going to win. I seen how my teammates were behaving. I just felt the energy. So personally, I thought we were going to have a big night. I thought the game was going to be what it was, lit and exciting. And, I knew the atmosphere was going to be like that. I didn't know I was going to, have the night that I did. Yeah. But I had a good practice, and, I felt like our team, everybody was locked in. They were trying to get things done. We might have had some mistakes here and there, even in the game. And what you said about Coach, he probably left it out for after the game. But once he watched the game a couple times, I'm going to find out what I need to do better, and that's exactly why we keep succeeding over here.
Why is the pick and roll between you and Zakai, it seems like it's unstoppable, and it definitely was on Saturday, but why is it so potent?
Man, I think it's just really Z's speed, man, and he's learned how to read the defense. All I got to do is give him a head start, and after that, he's gonna go to work. And I'm also fast, and I can get up there a little bit, so it helps because I can get behind my guy, I can move, and then I can catch it in different spots. It's not only for layups, like I can post up a little earlier, make it a mid post, or I can just set another highway screen and he could just go get the layup. So if they're anticipating me, Z's gonna score. If they're anticipating him, more than likely I'm gonna score. I think it's really just Z using his speed to create and get to his spots. and you know, making my job really easy. I just got to come up there real fast, set the screen, and get out of there real fast.
Real easy, real easy. Man, those uniforms, Olivier. Man, are we gonna see those again? What was the reaction from your teammates when y'all saw them for the first time?
Nah, we all love them,
Oh
man.
my
Those
gosh.
uniforms are cold. They're real cold, man. The cream, I like those. We all like those, and I think we'll definitely see those again. Who knows when, but we'll definitely see those again. And I'm glad, you know, I love our retros, man. Our retros, when I saw them my freshman year, I fell in love right away. But adding some more spice, some more, you know, variety, gotta love it.
What's changed since the Kentucky game? I mean, the games on the road, I mean, just beat downs, blowout, and then at home was up 20 points on a top 10 team. What did you guys learn from that experience versus Kentucky, and how do you feel like the team has grown and improved since that time?
I think it's kind of the same as what happened to us after Colorado, and it's unfortunate that we went through it twice. You know, you come into a game and you're not mentally prepared for what it's going to be. You know, what kind of battle war you're going into, and I think we grew in maturity and realizing, like, no matter what goes down, no matter how well we have been playing or how good we are looking, you know, we got to come prepared.
I think it's safe to say, Olivier, that when you wear the headband, you're about to drop some points. So how frequent are you going to wear the headband? Can we expect the headband moving forward?
We can expect the headband here and there. You know, whenever I have my hair braided, I definitely put on the headband, and we'll see. We'll see. I like the headband. You know, I like the look, but I don't want to overdo it. You know.
I know Tennessee great Ron Slay will be very, very proud of you, because you were owning the boom boom room, is what he would say. Do you think Texas defense was one of the best defenses that you played this season, maybe if not the best defense?
I think they had a good defense. I mean, we were able to exploit some of the things that they did and you know, go to work. But I think they had a very solid defense. We played some good defense. I think Mississippi State had a good defense. I think we're still gonna play some good defenses, but I think they definitely were up there. But they caught us on a bad night.
Yeah.
You know, their defense probably looked a little worse than what it actually was, just because of the type of night that we were having.
As you watch film, let's go through those 27 points. Which bucket are you going to rewind and watch the most? Which bucket you're most proud of? Got a lot of them, Olivier. I know I'm putting you on the spot. A lot to choose from.
I'm not gonna lie. The bucket that I like the most is when I got the dunk from Joe.
Yeah.
When I dunked the guy in, he tried to reach for the ball. I grabbed it, I dunked it, and I kind of hung on the rim. And you know, some people may say I might have deserved the tech. Some people may not. But I think that one, just because I started mean mugging, and at that point I knew what had gone down that night and what I had done to them, and you know what kind of night I was having, and it was already kind of safe to say, like, you know, I was cooking y'all.
Yeah.
So
know.
that's kind of when the mean mug came out, and I think that might have been the one I rewinded and watched the most.
How do you keep it going, Olivier? It is February approaching, postseason. It's about making that run deep, and had a short finish last year, losing to Michigan. How do you make sure that you're playing your best basketball at the right time, the best time of the year, which is towards the end? How do you make sure your team is doing that?
Man, it's tough, and I think one thing we talk about every day is how hard it actually is, and understanding that fact that it's hard, and then the preparation. You know, the other day we watched a quote from Paul Pierce. He said their coach used to tell him that the one thing that teams do is they get too ready for the playoffs, and they start thinking about the playoffs when they're already having a good regular season, that they forget about the process. You know, every day, every game that you're supposed to take care of. Taking care of business now the preparation now is gonna be the reason we succeed or don't succeed when we get there, when we get to those important games in March and then hopefully even in April.
All right, what is it going to take, outside obviously scoring 28 points, what is it going to take from a preparation standpoint for you to hit a new career high here soon?
Man, my teammates.
Yeah.
My teammates, you know, and none of those points would have came if it wasn't for my teammates. You know, I was just trying to get to my spots and trying to play off them, bounce off them, know where they have the ball, know where they're comfortable with the ball, knowing what passes they like making. You know, none of that would have been possible without my teammates. You know, Joe giving me the pass, he throwing me the lobs, the bounce pass. You know, guys giving me the ball when I'm open. You know, it's all my teammates, man. If I keep playing for them and making sure they're good and you know, taking care of business with my teammates, I think maybe, possibly, hopefully there'll be another night like that.
Guys, the culture is positive, and you see why he's giving all the love to his teammates, man.
Sure.
This team loves each other. They play hard for each other.
Olivier, before you go, how do you say into the clear in Finnish?
Into the clear?
Yep.
How would I say that?
Talk about putting him on the spot.
Golly, Austin.
No, but into the clear, just like in Finnish, it sounds ugly, I feel like.
Okay.
Well, let's not say it then.
Well, then let's stop.
I'm trying
Stop
to
right
find the
there.
words, and I don't think it's as smooth.
Love that. Hey, thanks for coming out. Good luck the rest of the way, okay? All right, sounds good. Hey, listen, if you'd like to support the initiative that is the NIL at Tennessee, along with Spire Sports, you can learn more online at volunteerclub.com. Lots to get to when we come back on The Locker Room.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Commercial Bank, Humana, E2 Sports, and OEB Law. The Locker Room is brought to you in part by Knoxville Orthopedic Clinics, the exclusive orthopedic provider for University of Tennessee athletics for over 70 years.
This is the story of John Smith. Not this John Smith, or this John Smith, or any of the other hundreds of John Smiths that are Humana Medicare Advantage members. No, it's this John Smith, who we paired with a Humana team member to help address his own specific health needs. At Humana, we take a personal approach to your health to provide care that's just as unique as you are, no matter what your name is.
Behind every Food City meat and seafood counter is a highly trained, certified butcher. Our butchers offer special orders, custom cuts, and even entire meal recommendations. In fact, you'll be so impressed with our butchers, you'll be asking yourself, what can't they do?
Huh, I bet he'd be great at wrapping presents.
Okay, well, maybe not that. But at Food City, our butchers make almost everything better.
At D1, our slogan is the place for the athlete. But who is the athlete? While you'll see a number of our athletes on courts and fields, not all of those athletes are starting left tackle in the football game. We pride ourselves with being the place for all athletes, 7 to 70, mom or son, dad or daughter, with locations all over Tennessee. And we have training programs for every athlete. So stop by any of our locations and let's find the best athlete in you.
Well, I tell you what, if you're not going to focus on Olivier for this segment right here, you got to focus on Zakai because he is absolutely lightning in a bottle out there.
Well, you know, and Jason talked about the game slowing down for him. I couldn't agree more. You know, I mean, last year he kind of was able to kind of ease his way in because Tennessee had, you know, another, you know, yin to the yang at the point guard spot. This year, this is his deal. Kind of struggled a little bit early, got benched, started coming off the bench, never really let it affect him. Now he's back as a starter, and he's flourishing.
He's the best point guard in the SEC right now. I've heard multiple SEC analysts say it, and I think Zakai has proven it over the last couple of games, and especially on Saturday.
What is the key to this team making a run in March? Where is it?
Well, I mean, I think it's just, you know, you can't have – I know what he's saying about Zakai, but to me, Zakai's the distributor of everything, right?
Sure, sure.
But when he distributes, you can't have a night where Olivier and Santiago are off.
Okay.
Like, as long as one of them's on, you're going to have other guys pick up the pace, whether it's Josiah, whether it's Julian Phillips, Urosh, Tyreek Key, whoever. But to me, you can't have 4 points from Olivier, 8 points from, you know, from Santiago, a combined 12 points, and expect to,
Well, but he
to play
made
well offensively.
but he made the point over here about that you had a night where you had only one guy in double digits, yet you looked up and you were at 80. So I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more than points. I mean, you look at the Kentucky game, and Olivier got himself in trouble because of several missed blockouts.
And Uros was dominating.
And Uros was in there. And so the rebounding is important because they basically out-toughed Texas. And their coach said, hey, we don't get out-toughed. And it happened to us. Tennessee out-rebounded Texas. So Olivier's presence in the post, his physicality, I think is very, very important. You get that, I mean, Tennessee's hard to beat if you get one of the perimeter players, either Z or Santiago, making shots from the outside. So it happened that both guys did it on Saturday.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop you right there because I want to take a break. I want to have a little bit of time for Austin to talk about his experience at the Polynesian Bowl, where he went to watch Nico and hang out. He's the only guy that hangs out with Nico on his anniversary trip. We'll talk about that when we come back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Pilot Company, Ted Russell Ford, Food City, and Lincoln Memorial University.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Costa. Dr. Malone and I here at Knoxville Smiles are here to help you with any of your dental needs, whether it's a routine cleaning, a root canal, or if you just want some advice. Did you know that you don't have to settle for a denture anymore? My team and Dr. Malone are here to help you no matter where you're at and to help you figure out the truth for your dental health. So give us a call or visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
Matlock Tire has a reputation for being a little bit old school. We're proud to be known for our outstanding hometown customer service. We've been doing things that way for over 60 years. But Matlock now offers new modern conveniences, such as family-friendly waiting areas, online appointment scheduling. You can even shop for tires and see our current stock right from your computer or smartphone. We invite you to stop into one of our 5 convenient locations or come see us online at matlocktireservice.com. Modern convenience, hometown service. Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair.
Hi, I'm Anderson County head football coach David Gillen, and I want to tell you about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions, East Tennessee's first choice in roofing. They've been servicing East Tennessee for over 20 years, achieving a 4.9 rating on Google reviews, and are listed as a platinum contractor by Owens Corning. Financing is available. I invite you to learn more about my friends at Exterior Home Solutions on their website, exteriorhomesolutions.com, or give them a call at 865-524-5888.
Okay, so you were in Hawaii. You went to the Polynesian Bowl. How was it?
It was fun, man. I mean, they did really do it up right over there. You know, they had several players. I mean, Troy Polamalu was there. I mean, you had, several, Polynesian players that have played in the NFL, that were there, spoke to the team throughout the week. You started to see more and more big-time players play in this game. Obviously, for Nico, that was the only one. He could have played in any of them, the Army game, the Under Armour game. He only wanted to play in the Polynesian Bowl because, I mean, that's his heritage. And,
right.
So you see that, and it was neat. It was well run. I enjoyed it, and the only difference being is it's just it's late in the game. So for those USC kids, and there were 6. I think 5 of them were early enrollees. They were missing class to be at the Polynesian Bowl all week, whereas Nico had not started yet. He played the game and then flew straight back to Knoxville and went to school on Monday. So a little different, but that's probably the only hiccup is just the timing of the game for some of the kids.
Sounds good. Well, it looked like a whole lot of fun, and I will say this as we leave you tonight. Mahalo. This is not goodbye. This is just we'll see you later. Is that what you said?
That is.
On social media? We'll see you later.
So this.